LG allows us to unlock some of the G5s that are available on the market now. I take a 13-hour flight all the way to Beijing to check out some new devices released by LeEco. Also, Titanium Backup's now talking to TWRP. This is some of the stories that I found interesting on the XDA portal this week. This is TK. Let's go ahead and check out the XDA news that we covered on the XDA portal this week. First thing we're going to start off this week is talking about the TWRP recovery being updated to 3.0.2. Not only supports multi-languages, but also the ability to support Titanium backups. Huawei released a VR headset this week. They're targeting it towards the P9 and the Huawei Mate 8. Now I have the Huawei Mate 8, so hopefully I'll be able to get my hands on one of these units to check out. But the main differentiator that Huawei is releasing with this is that it's going to have 360-degree sound field. So of course there's going to be additional hardware that are required to be able to get this experience, but definitely interested to see how Huawei does things, especially since at least on the mobile devices, they perform very, very well, and this is definitely a very high-end offering. We have a discussion question that was put out and basically asking you, what do you think of durability? Do you think of your device durability based on the fact that it's made out of glass, plastic, metal, or do you look for third-party case manufacturers to give you that durability? I'll give you guys a link in the description below. It's definitely a nice conversation to be able to talk about because that's something that we always look for whenever we look at a device. Now, you may or may not be subscribed to our Twitter account, but one of the main things that we try to do on a weekly basis is put out posts and basically ideas and ask your opinions. And Matt's starting to put that together in basically a part one that's been pushed out this week to the XDA portal, talking about some of the opinions and some of the discussions that have been going on Twitter. So I recommend you guys first make sure that you subscribe to our Twitter account, and if not, check out this article so that maybe you'll be interested to participate in the near future. Two Xposed modules were covered on the XDA portal this week. The first one is S-Halo floating window, and it now has the ability to have tinted title bars as well as the support for Android 6.0. Definitely something very dear and near to my heart as far as Xposed, so I'll definitely check that one out. The other module that was covered on the XDA portal this week is called Handover. It's a module that enables us to seamlessly transfer our files from our device directly to our PC. So definitely interesting. I'll have a chance to check those out, and hopefully I'll be able to put out a video for you guys on my channel on the Xposed Tuesdays. So keep an eye there. I'll give you guys a link to my channel in the description below. The HTC 10, having the ability to have an unlocked bootloader, has basically been welcomed with open arms by the development community. To prove that, TWRP already released their HTC 10 recovery, even though the HTC 10 is not available for people to be able to test this out. So if you're able to get your hands on and test this out, I'll give you guys a link in the description below. But if not, this is something that's going to be really nice, especially since this device is coming out with support for being able to unlock the bootloader right out of the box, not being released at a later time. End-to-end encryption is finally here for all supported devices by WhatsApp. Now, this is great for encrypting the messages, but the fact of the matter is we still have metadata. Metadata can still say so much more about what you're doing, how many times you've communicated with a person, how long you've been communicated to a person, and if the message has actually been delivered or not. So what can the providers do with this information? I would give you guys a link in the description below to check out the article to have a better understanding. It's something that you need to be aware of. End-to-end encryption is not the end-all be-all of everything. Google is announced and finally basically starting to make available the podcast functionality with the Google Play Store. This is very nice, as this was announced last year. We actually been waiting this for a long time. So hopefully in the near future, we will no longer have a need for podcast applications outside of the Play Store. You'll be able to basically subscribe to your favorite podcast and make sure that it updates on a timely basis. They also have the ability to have that functionality work with Google Search, as you're able to listen to some podcasts there, at least last 3 episodes, and then keep it playing in the background as long as you're using the Google application to actually start your search. The Note 5 is finally starting to receive the Marshmallow update on T-Mobile in the US. So if you have your T-Mobile Note 5, definitely check out the link in the description below if you haven't received the notification to update yourself directly to Marshmallow. Definitely welcome now that I think, definitely for me when I went to the S7 Edge, that was one of the reasons why I kind of left. I realized that the Note 5 was going to take some time to get updated, and it's finally done. So if you have it, check it out. We had another article posted on the XDA portal talking about the main changes between Preview 1 to Preview 2 as far as it came to the Android N release from Google, most specifically regarding the recents window. So Mario discusses some of the main changes and some of the aesthetics that there, and the things he liked and the things that he didn't like about the implementation. I'll give you guys a link in the description below. Definitely check that out. An interesting read. We have another article posting on the XDA portal talking about going to the dark side. It's an in-depth review of the MIUI interface running on our Android or similar Android devices. It's basically a skin running over Android, similar to TouchWiz and other devices that we have before, but definitely a good read. I'll give you guys a link in the description below if you're interested in MIUI or have used it in the past. Chainfire released the Fastboot Flashable backup support directly within his FlashFire application, something very nice. Now, one caveat, it's not exactly as the original one when you're creating it, but it does cover a lot to make it functional for a lot of users. I'll give you guys a link in the description below to check out some more information about that. If you're familiar with a company called Zook, they released the Zook Z2 Pro this week, and some of the reasons why this device is really standing out for me is not only because it's running the Snapdragon 820, it's basically a full HD display, but the amount of bezel, the 0.05 millimeter bezel that's there, that's practically not there. Actually, maybe that's how I should say it. It's amazing. We also have the ability of going up with a higher end version that'll have 6 gigs of RAM and up to 128 gigabytes of internal storage. Definitely very, very high-end specs from a device that is running the 820, so we're definitely excited to see this. I'm actually personally very excited about this device. Hopefully you guys have used this devices or devices from this company, but the fact of the matter is this is what you'd like to have from a device. The most amount of RAM, the most amount of storage, and the best processor. This is a very nice combo. Hopefully, well, I'll give you guys a link in the description below, so let me know what you guys think of this device. LG is allowing us to unlock our bootloader when it comes to the LG G5, specifically the H830 and the H850. The 850 is basically the European model and the 830 from T-Mobile. The process is very simple. You have to register on their website, get the ability to unlock it. But it's nice at least that you have the ability of doing so. Just be aware of if you do unlock your bootloader, all your device data is going to be deleted. Make sure you back all of that information before you proceed here. Definitely a step in the right direction. Hopefully, in the near future, we'll have this released at the same time as the devices so that we don't have confusion from, users being able to say, well, why is this locked and everybody else is unlocked? So definitely very nice. Kang VIP has been released for the Mate 8. If you have this device, this is something that you'll definitely enjoy having, as it not only deep loads some of the main things in the main ROM, but also gives us the ability to have multi-wielder support for up to 380 different applications. So definitely a much bigger supported list of applications. We have Xposed, Viper for Android, definitely very nice addition here. So this is some of the new features that we have there. I'll give you guys a link in the description below. I personally like the Mate 8, and I'm very happy now that we have the ability to get some nice new functionalities on this device that just runs buttery smooth every single time, no overheating issues. One of the other articles that was posted on the XDA portal this week talks about the compliance of USB Type-C and Quick Charge 3.0. And if we have ever heard of anything as far as compatibility with USB Type-C within last year, at least a lot of manufacturers are jumping on the bandwagon of saying that they're both compliant. And the article kind of discusses why those two can never be really compliant. Because of the requirements that we have for USB Type-C and what the manufacturers are doing to make their devices charge faster. So some of the information in here is very nice. I'll give you guys a link in the description below, but just be aware at least when you're buying these things, you need to understand what's coming in the box, specifically saying that the HTC 10 and the G5 are both not compliant with those two standards together. So even though they both have USB Type-C. We had a few forums added to the XDA forums this week, the LE2, the LE2 Pro, and LE Max 2, as well as the Zook Z2 Pro were added to the list. Sorry, a lot of acronyms, a lot of different things. I'm glad I was able to get them together in one single sentence. Lastly, we had a few other videos posted on the XDA portal. We had a couple of videos from Ronald talking about the XDA Labs application. Of course, we had a couple other hands-on videos from me after I flew all the way to Beijing to get you guys some hands-on with the LE2 and the LE Max 2. They're going to be very nice devices. I'll give you guys links in the description below. Other than this, I hope you guys had a great week. I had an amazing week. I had the ability to travel to Beijing with part of a small group that went over to LeEco's launch event in Beijing. I'll put out a recap hopefully over the weekend for you guys to check out some of the things I had the experience when I was there. Other than this, like and subscribe. Thank you very much for supporting the channel. Check out my channel. Again, I'll give you guys some information in the description below. And, I'll see you guys next week.